Yeah, Lewis, I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you right now, Lewis. Yeah, I'm looking at you. How you gonna talk all that big talk last week, talking about, oh, we can throw some shots, we can throw them back, we can do this and that, and then you get in the room and then you get sun like that. I got to give you this look, Lewis, because you, sir, just got punked yet again. Okay. Sky Squad, we are back in the building and we got to talk about it. Okay. Yes, Davita is back, baby. Davita is back. The star of this show is back to give us facial expressions that we need. Okay. Because Lewis, you talk cash money, baby. You talk cash money last week with your wife, but then you get up into the black today. And you just as quiet as a church mouse. Okay. Now he did get in a couple of, zingers here and a zinger there, but ultimately he was really no match for MARSAU. Actually, he won't even really a match for Maurice. But we're gonna get into that when we get into it, okay? Y'all, we are here talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 4, episode 4. Kiki, do you love me? Hey, hey, hey. And I'm wearing my black turtleneck in honor of MARSAU for tonight's episode because he shut it down, okay? In the battle royale, at the end of the day, I got to get that round to Maurice. And he left no crumbs on the table for Lewis at all, okay? At all. Before we get into the episode, y'all, of course, we got to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. If you saw my Instagram post, okay, my Instagram post has said, let me show you what it has said, okay? This is what it has said. It said, the episode was lit, but I cannot give it a 10 out of 10. And we're going to talk about why. And I'm going to talk about it real quick. When we get to this part of the episode, I want you to rate it on the scale of 1 to 10, okay? Rate it on the scale of 1 to 10 in the chatterization right about now, and let me know why you're rating it, what you're rating it, okay? Now, I wanted to get this episode a 10 because we had Ponderosa after Ponderosa after Ponderosa. And y'all know I love a good sit-down conversation where things can either get settled or things can get started, okay? And we had a lot of conversations where things got settled. We had a couple of conversations where some things got started, okay? But the conversation that is really, to me, what we needed to see more of, and what I wanted to know more of, was betwixt Kiki and Latisha. And we're going to get into the full details about it. Thank you. You hit the nail on the head. See, I resisted giving the urge to give it a 10 out of 10 because it gave me what I needed in terms of a reality TV show. All except a group scene, okay? But why don't I know what Latisha and Kiki are arguing about, okay? You listen to me because Latisha's talking around a topic to obviously protect Kiki from whatever it is that was going on with Kiki at the time. Kiki is addressing an issue where Latisha is allegedly talking about her, but we don't know what was said or why it was said, in what context it was said, and what was really going on. So all this talking around the subject, to me, going around the mulberry bush, leaving me confused. If I don't know what you're talking about, I cannot give you the full 10 points on the episode. I can't. I just can't do it. My spirit, my conscience will not let me give you that 10 out of 10 if I don't know what you are arguing about, okay? And so that's it, all right? That's why I didn't give it a 10 out of 10. But we're going to get into it when we need to get into it, right? All right, so where are we at with this whole situation? Tiffany stops by to visit Melody, okay? they recaps the part, the pajama jammy jam, and Tiffany's discussion with Kimmy and Stormy and Stormy's opinions. Well, Melody says, well, girl, you know, I hate that when that happened, but Tiffany, you came in very opinionated too. Touche, Melody, touche. Okay, because Tiffany did. Melody suggests maybe you guys need to have a ponderosa. You know, just to sit down with the two of y'all where y'all can really, you know, hash things out. But just know this, you ain't got to be friends with everybody. And I guess Melody is standing true to that word because she's saying, I'm not filming with this person. I am not filming with that person. You are not going to disturb my peace this here day at all. Okay. So I actually agree with that notion. You know what? In real life, I ain't got to be around nobody I don't like. Okay. That's number one. But on a reality TV show, you're going to have to be around these people at some point. It is the way that it is. You know what I'm saying? At some point, especially because Tiffany, you so new, you got to be around everybody you can get around to get as many scenes as you can get in. So you need to go ahead and have this ponderosa. But knowing that, you ain't got to be friends with everybody, and that is always the case. Okay, some people you can just hey from afar. Okay, so anyway, Tiffany lets it be known that her and Lewis went to the book signing, and, you know, gasp, Melody was not there, you know, with the kids. And why was that? Melody says she was made aware of it a day or two before. It was her week with the kids, and she had a death in the family. And she is setting boundaries with her ex because she feels like her ex is still trying to do things to control her. Boom. So then Tiffany, ever the marriage expert, okay, suggests, well, don't make decisions based on history and baggage, you know? And then she says, well, it's usually three sides to a story, his side, her side, and the truth. And Melody shuts it down and says, my side is going to always be correct because I'm going to tell the truth, okay? She let her know. So Tiffany's like, well, I'm shocked at your response because Martell seemed really sad, okay? And Melody lets her know, girl, I won't even invite it. The kids was invited. I was not invited. I didn't get an invite, so I don't want to hear nothing else about this. Tiffany, by the way, you looked amazing in your new confessional. I'm gonna give you props when the props is due, boo. You looked amazing in that confessional. I don't know if it was red, rouge, cherry, fuchsia, or what color it was, because you know I'm colorblind, but it was in the red family, and you look good in it, okay? You look good in it. Tell me in the chatterization what color she had on in that confessional. Somebody let me know in the chatterization, because y'all know I don't know, okay? Y'all know I'm colorblind. I got a little problem going on. Anyway, you know, Tiffany then relates it to her divorce situation. And we learned that she, you know, she got a divorce from her husband, and then the husband had died or whatever. And Tiffany admits, okay, that she wanted a better lifestyle for herself. So Melody's like, no, wait a second. Let me sum it up for the audience because I don't think they really get it. You're telling me that you wanted more money and you wanted a better lifestyle for yourself. So you said, sayonara, sucker, and you left him. Okay, that's what you did. And so Tiffany's like, pretty much. That's what I did. That man was my soulmate. Okay, he was my soulmate. And what I will say is this. Now, apparently, the man worked his hands and feet to the grindstone. He was hustling, grinding, but wasn't making the level of income that she was aspiring towards for her own life. And so I'm thinking to myself, well, girl, I mean, I don't know. Listen, this is my thought. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong, okay? It's always interesting to me when I see somebody, and maybe she was in this position and I don't know because she did not say. It's always interesting to me when I see people talk about, well, I want somebody that's got this, that, and the third, and I got and got X amount in the bank, and they got this kind of credit score, and they travel monthly here, and they can do this for me, and this for me, and this for me. That goes for men and women, yada, 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 whoever side you on. But it always is funny to me when I'm looking at that person and I'm thinking to myself, do you have all those things that you are requiring? Tiffany, are you able to do all of these things that you want to do? Did you come into the relationship on an elevated lifestyle, or were you dependent on this man to make your lifestyle elevated? So help me understand it. Because to me, if you think that this person, man, woman, or whoever you with, is going to make your lifestyle elevated, then maybe what you need is a sugar daddy and not a husband. Okay. That's number one. But now what I did like about this scene was that Melody did her a favor, okay, by pushing Tiffany to have a conversation about her past and her past mistakes. It really opened Tiffany up, okay, to be more transparent, which is what people have been really looking for. And I think this, to me, was the first time we really got a glimpse at who Tiffany is, because here is what I will tell you. You know what? When you give your testimony to people, your testimony is usually not pretty, okay? And so it's usually through those ugly moments in life that when we peel the layers back, all of us got a little ugly in our past. You know what I'm saying? That's usually what people can connect with. I can connect with your ugly that you hiding, because what we see on Instagram is just a facade of the best parts of our lives, right? But it is really those ugly moments that we really can connect with, because we can say, girl, I've been there too. I made the wrong decision. I lost something that I didn't want to lose. And so to me, again, I think Melody did her a solid on that one by bringing that out of Tiffany. And with Tiffany finally opening up in that capacity in a real way about a real regret, that made me like her a bit more. You know what I'm saying? It made me definitely feel like I could relate to her a little bit more. Okay, so this is an imperfection that you wouldn't want nobody to know, okay? You wouldn't want nobody to know that you wanted more money, and you wanted a better lifestyle, so you didn't appreciate what you had, okay? And now you realize that was your soulmate, okay? Tiffany is basically this. You know, you have got to be able to talk about the things that are really uncomfortable for you, especially if you're going to be on a reality TV show like this. Because if you cannot, and if you only give us those superficial things, we, the audience, are going to know about it. We're going to pick up on it, and we're going to be able to tell, like, you ain't really giving it what you need to give it. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I was moving on to Latisha and Kimmy. I'm going from my brain because my notes is on my phone, and I'm doing this from my phone, so y'all work with me, okay? So here's my thing. Last week, we didn't know what had happened between Latisha and Kimmy at all since the reunion, when Kimmy said that if the two of them, you know, weren't sisters-in-law, would they be friends? And Kimmy said no, and that was really a big moment. And I was like, are we going to get any follow-up to this? Like, what's going on with that? So my thought was like this. I said, you know, personally, I feel like we needed a resolve at the start of the season. We didn't get that, okay? But we got it today. And it just seemed like they just both, Kimmy invited her over. Latisha came over with a bottle of champagne, a sparkling wine. And it felt like the way Kimmy kind of just went into it, I don't know. It was just like they glossed over it really, really quickly. Kimmy's point was this. I wouldn't be friends with somebody that I'm continuously going back and forth with. And I get that. I totally get that. But what I feel like I don't get necessarily was Latisha, when she made that statement, Latisha was hurt, okay? Latisha was very, very hurt. So I kind of feel like, thank you for the super chat. Lakeisha says Big Bones Lewis came at his wife with more energy and was like a church mouth with MARSAU. Absolutely. And hold on for 1 second, y'all. I got all kinds of shenanigans going on over here today, but we making this thing work, okay? So I feel like perhaps they had a conversation beforehand, and they were maybe like squashed it after the reunion, and we just seeing the after effects of that because it just felt like it was over so quickly. And if you guys will recall last season, it felt like Latisha had a really big axe to grind with Kimmy for some reason. I don't know if it felt like that to just me, but it definitely felt like that in general. Like all season long, it almost seemed like Latisha kind of was like coming at Kimmy left and right. So to see them just kind of gloss over it without really rehashing any of that was very interesting to me. And it was really so interesting because I felt to me like later when Latisha has her conversation with Kiki, I kind of felt like Kiki pulled a Latisha on Latisha because last season it felt to me like Latisha was very, very good at rehashing things from the past, particularly with Kimmy. And now it's interesting to me that Kiki is doing the same thing to Latisha, but Latisha cannot handle it. Okay. So anyway, the two of them, they make up, and Kimmy ends up telling her, well, girl, let me let you know something. Everybody was talking about you over at Melody's, pajama jammy jam. You wasn't there, and your cousin was doing a lot of talking about you. Now, I'm going to say it like this. I don't necessarily feel like what Kiki said about Latisha was all that bad, but I can see where Kimmy, being the observer, might want to tell Latisha, hey, some stuff was said, and you might just want to have a conversation with her. But I didn't really feel like it was all that bad. Anyway, let's skip on over to the scene with, I'm gonna come back to MARSAU and Louis and Maurice because I want to jump ahead to Tiffany and Stormy. Was that not the weirdest conversation that you guys have ever seen between two people who are trying to resolve things? And I like the addition of Stormy, but I can't really tell if I guess I can't tell if she putting on for the camera or if she just is that straight up. It could be, it definitely could be that she's just that straight up. Thank you, G3. It was just a strange scene because Stormy invited her there to clear the air, but she did seem a little bit amped up and kind of like not really still feeling Tiffany all that much. Because Tiffany starts off like, well, was there something I said that offended you? And then Stormy starts in and like, well, yeah, I said I wanted to clear the air about an offensive comment that you made. And I was like, well, I don't think that's how you clear the air exactly. I don't know. When I last looked in the book about clearing the air, it didn't look like that. This don't look like the air being cleared here. When the air is being cleared, it's coming off, it's giving a positive vibes. It was still giving, I don't really care for you vibes, but I'm trying. Okay, that's what it felt like to me. I'm gonna see what you about, girl, but I'm still not really feeling you. Anyway, so she asked, so Stormy asked, Tiffany, well, tell me a little bit about yourself. And tell her about herself, Tiffany does. Tiffany tells her, she runs down her entire resume. She tells her about her auntie back in Kansas, about the time in high school when she went to the prom, about who she was dating when she was 16, and surprisingly, don't take this as shade, Tiffany. Please don't take it as shade. When Tiffany said she was 34, I was like, oh, I did not know. She the way she carries herself skews a little older, and what I mean by that is sort of how just the way she kind of speaks. You know what I'm saying? I felt like she might have been like maybe like 40 something. Like, and it's not about looks, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's not even about the looks. I was just taken aback because I was like, dang, you young. Maybe that's why you don't really always say the right things to these people. Cause you still a young buck. You still trying to figure life out, girl. Okay, so much about when she said she was only 34, so much made sense to me. Okay. So much made sense to me. I said, oh, girl, you should have told us she was 34 last season. It was 33. You should have just told us she was 33 last year. We would have understood why none of the stuff you were saying and doing made any sense. We would have got the point. But we sitting around here thinking you know, a little bit older. And I don't know why. I just would have assumed just because of the nature of the people on the show. I don't know how old everybody is, but I'm just saying that she just reads on the screen maturity-wise, like the way she kind of speaks and stuff like that, a little bit older. But girl, if I had known you was just 33, 34, I would have gave you a lot of slack last year. We all would have liked you a lot better if we had known that you was just out your fresh out your 20s. Yes, you ain't gonna know what you doing and what you saying, and you ain't gonna always know what you saying ain't right. Of course, we gonna give you the benefit of the doubt knowing that. Anyway, that's why somebody says she has an older spirit. That's about it. Okay. Yes, there's a learning curve, but you know, between the ages of like what 25 and 30 and 30 something, 38, maybe 30, you know, around that age, you know, it's a little bit, it's a learning curve, you know. So I would have been able to say, well, girl, I get it. Anyway, Stormy's bored and she's about to fall asleep, and she lets Tiffany know, girl, like I have phased out on you a long time ago. And so Tiffany relates that to pregnancy brain or something like that. I don't know what that really means because Stormy ain't pregnant at this point. So anyway, they get to talking about, you know, kids, and Stormy, you know, don't want no more kids because she said she almost died when she was having when she had her baby. And I was like, oh no. And so we get to learn a lot more about Stormy. So they seem like they're on a good foot. And you know, Tiffany herself is very hopeful. Well, her 34-year-old self is very hopeful. And see that yet again, 34. Okay, she says to Stormy, well, girl, are we good? And Stormy is like, I'm still feeling you out. I mean, we somewhere. We on Easy Street. But we ain't. I wouldn't say good at all. Not really much. We here. That's what we just right here, girl. We here. We in the bar. That's where we are. Okay. Moving on. There was a scene of Martell working with his business manager. You know, as I was watching this episode and I was thinking to myself, and I'm trying to remember my notes, but the one thing that stuck out to me is Martell has so many things going on right now. So many things. He's got the wine. He's got the kids' book. He's got the cookbook. He's got the ebook on working out because he's fit. He's got all of these things going on, but that builder's license, where is it? Why are you not on the trip? Business manager, lady. Business manager. Melnika, Miss Melnika, come here. Come here, girl. Come here. Let me whisper in your ear. Now, I am totally on board with this man selling the ebooks. Sell a cookbook. I don't care. Open up an OnlyFans. Whatever you got to do. But at the end of the day, what he need to be doing is studying for that doggone builder's license. Where is it at? What is it? Because at this point, I'm going to have my real estate license before he have his builder's license. And then don't let me try to figure out what I need a builder's license for and then go get a builder's license. Because if I get that builder's license before you, I'm going to be real mad. I'm flying down to the Huntsville, Martell, and we're going to have a sit-down Ponderosa ourselves and talk about some things. And Melnika, you're invited to the meeting too, because what I feel like is, Melnika, you need to be telling him, you need to tell him to tell this man to get his business license. That builder's license. Get that builder's license. I don't care if you're naked on a cookbook or not. I do not care. What I do care about is you being able to solidify the work that you really want to do in the world of real estate. And a portion of that, what you are seemingly good at, is doing the building. Get your license, bro. That's it. Meanwhile, they're gonna have a party down to the Atlanta, knowing good and well what happened last time they was in Atlanta in 2015. Okay, and now, Melnika, this is what I'm with you when you're right. Miss Melnika said, "Hey, listen, you trying to invite MARSAU and Maurice, okay? But what about these photos and things that they posting?" And MARSAU's like, "Well, yeah, I mean, that's just for laughs." And she's like, "Well, it's not funny. And you know what? I'm not trying to be cleaning up your mess no more. All those types of shenanigans got to go." And you know what's so funny to me? It resonated in my mind. I was like, you know what? That is so true. It is so true. Y'all yip and laughing about it. Meanwhile, Maurice in trouble. He in the doghouse. Well, not too much of the doghouse, because apparently they went on vacation and and got the y'all know. Anyway, but I just feel like, posting stuff like that, I mean, and trolling people, it really is, it can be a little bit immature at times, right? You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're trying to like build a different type of brand and be perceived as a different type of person. The type of stuff that Martell used to post, I think a lot, I didn't really follow him that much back in the day, but from what I hear, okay, and from what I have seen on in the internet streets, it's just a lot of stuff that is like, okay, branding wise, this don't look good for you. It really don't. It didn't look good for Maurice, and it did not look good for MARSAU. As much as he thought it was funny, nobody else really thought it was funny, because it opened up a whole Pandora's box, basically. Anyway, Martell tells her he wants some good looking, he wants some beautiful women there. And Melnika says, "Well, you gonna have some linebackers there too?" Again, not my word. These are her words, not mine. Okay. So we're gonna talk about Maurice, MARSAU, and Lewis right now. Now, I told y'all at the beginning of this video, Lewis went into this whole Ponderosa. I thought he was gonna talk some big stuff. The way he was talking to his wife last week, and the way he was all riled up and I thought it was about to go down, okay? But it did. The only thing that went down was Lewis, okay? Because once MARSAU got a hold of him, MARSAU ripped into him and let him have it about commenting on his marriage and basically saying that MARSAU is in a bad marriage. That was the thing that Maurice stuck with the most. And Lewis was trying to defend himself, and he made us like he got in a couple of good little zingers here and there, but it really wasn't enough to take on the stampede that was MARSAU Scott on this day. Okay. Now, what is my thought about the situation? Do I think that Lewis has the right to comment on what he sees and of Maurice's marriage? To a certain degree, yes, and to a certain degree, no. To a certain degree, yes, because they are on a reality TV show where they are expected to give their opinions. I'm sure they were asked about what they thought about the state of their marriage, and what he should have said was, well, based on the way that you speak to your wife, I at times question whether or not the marriage is good or not. And that's just the truth. And I said it. Now, that's what I feel like. Now, you have the right to, at the same time, feel like my statement or be upset about my statement, but my statement stands. And there's nothing that you can say to change that. He could have said that and took his shot and been about his way and said deuces. But what he did was he acquiesced to the power of MARSAU and Maurice double teaming him down to the black. Number one, if you are going to have a confrontation or ponderosa with somebody, do it on neutral turf. Do not do it at a restaurant. Number two, if you're going to have a ponderosa of that sort, you need to do it mano a mano, or woman to woman. You need to have that conversation person to person with no extras. If you do have an extra involved, make sure you got somebody that has your back too. So he should have had Martell there, since Martell seemingly had his back and was the one that suggested this ponderosa in the first place. The next thing that I would say is, the moment you can see, listen, that it was about to be a tag team situation, I would have went up to the bar, got myself another glass, and took another shot, and then I would have hightailed it up out of there. Because at the end of the day, Louis did not do a good job of standing up for himself at all in any way, shape, or form. All he did was basically, well, y'all, yeah, you know, I mean, you right. I need to earn my spot in this. No, Louis, let me say this. What you need to understand is when you come on these reality TV shows, you have already been vetted by the production crew, by Carlos King himself. Everybody else believes that you deserve to be there. There is nothing else that you have to earn. You do not have to, there is no pecking order in this group at this point in time. When you become a cast member, it's free game for everybody, okay? You might be new on the streets, but what you need to do is when you come into the door, know who you are and know whose you are and know what you stand for. And if that's what you stand for and if that's what you see, I need you to stand 10 toes down in it and don't complain about it to your wife. And then when you get in front of the person, go all soft, okay? I don't like that. I don't like when people do that on these reality TV shows. Stand 10 toes down in what you said because you absolutely said it and you absolutely meant it. But now when you are faced with the person face to face and because they are giving it to you, you back down, you acquiesce, you just, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't say that. I'll learn to earn my stripes. No, get out of here with that mess, okay? It doesn't make any sense to me. What are you talking about? Oh, I need to, I'm going to earn my space. I'm going to earn my space. And then get in your confessional and say, well, I'm sorry for something, for how it came across, but I'm not sorry for what I said. If you are not going to say it to their face, don't say it in their confessionals, okay? Don't do it. Because all you're doing is backpedaling, punani popping, and I don't like it, okay? I don't like it, not one bit. Next, okay? We get to the scene where Latisha has invited her cousin Kiki out to Black. Kiki, yet again. Do not, because even if it's under the guise of getting a free drink, when you want to have, if you know it's a Ponderosa going down and you know you about to be confronted about something, do not do it on their turf, okay? You do it on the turf that's on neutral grounds where they don't have no control, okay? Sir Capricorn says Louis needed you there in his corner. Well, I mean, you know, I would have been drinking and spectating. Well, personally, I'm a peaceful person unless you push me. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, MARSAU didn't even really need to do much. MARSAU just kind of sunned him. You know what I'm saying? MARSAU didn't really yell like that. He just MARSAU is good at, MARSAU is good at what he does. He's good at what he does. I can't even hate. So anyway, Kiki, girl, I would say you made the wrong move by going to the Black, but at least you got a free drink. Because in this situation, the exact opposite happened. Latisha, how do you let your cousin run you out your own restaurant? Okay? How you gotta be the one to leave? I was wondering, I was like, what? You gonna walk off and leave your own spot? No, you get her to walk off, okay? That's how it's supposed to work. You're supposed to sit back there and have your drink. That's what needs to happen. But anyway, let's get into it. When she gets there, she immediately goes in to check on Jalen and question why he dressed the way he dressed or something like that. I don't know what was going on. I guess to show she has some type of managerial authority or something like that. I really don't know. But I did like what Latisha had on for some reason. I really liked her in that Black. But that's beside the point. Anyway, so they start off with the pleasantries, her and Kiki. And Latisha's like, well, basically, listen, I heard that there was a pajama jammy jam I wasn't invited to. I heard you was there, and Kimmy told me that you was talking about me. And Kiki was like, well, I really didn't feel like what I said about you was all that bad or whatever like that. And besides that, to be honest with you, I'm still mad at you because you was talking about me behind my back and laughing about me to these people. And then we get into this weird scenario where apparently there was a Christmas party at some point in time at Mel and Martell's, and Kiki was coming. Now, apparently something was going on with Kiki. So what Latisha did was before Kiki got there, she told Melody and Martell exactly what was going on and telling Kiki's business. And her and Kiki have had conversations about this before. Now, in general, I would have been on Latisha's side. Personally, I would have definitely been on Latisha's side because once I have a conversation with you about something, we're going to have to let this thing go, especially if we have spent hours and hours and hours and hours talking about this. But for the simple fact that Latisha is also not willing to be the person to let things go, specifically with Kimmy. Okay, Latisha does not let anything go with Kimmy. At least she didn't last year. She on something different this year, because last year she was not letting Kimmy up on nothing. Okay, if it happened 3 years ago, she was going at it. If it happened last year, she was going at it. If it happened 3 minutes ago, she was going at it. Whatever it was, if she felt like Kimmy did not have her back, she was going to let her know. If Kimmy didn't have her back 15 years ago, she was going to let her know. I don't even know if they knew each other 15 years ago, but it don't matter at this point because she was not letting nothing go. So to me, to see Kiki going at Latisha the way that Latisha has gone after Kimmy, I just said, oh my God, that is what karma looks like. Oh, I get it. It looks like Kiki sitting there in the colorful shirt, giving it to Latisha about something that happened 4 years ago, which we really don't even know what happened. And that's the reason why I had to take away a point for this episode, because I'm like, I don't like it when people be talking about something I don't know nothing about. I can't really get into whose side I really want to be on because I don't really know what the scenario is. But what I do know is Kiki is giving Latisha a taste of her own medicine. Okay? Thank you for the super chat, the Black Bumblebee. I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I appreciate y'all for staying on this live after my computer went haywire. I think I gotta get a new computer, y'all. I think I got too much video content or something like that on it. Anyway, that ain't y'all business. That ain't y'all problem. That's mine. I'm gonna take care of that tomorrow. Meanwhile, Latisha basically says, "Well, you know what? Let's just cut ties then. Let's just cut ties then." Kiki's like, "Well, if that's what you want to do." And Latisha's like, well, we talked about this for hours and hours and hours. So the next thing you know, she walks out of her own restaurant. And I'm like, girl, you do not leave your own restaurant. You get her to leave. You tell her to go. Just leave. Now see, if she had wanted a real moment, if she was a real Latisha, next time, let me give you some pointers. If you want to be a real G about it and be real, and be real gangster on reality TV, you tell her to get to stepping out your establishment because it's yours, okay? Because you could have done that. Meanwhile, she get outside, and what does she do? She get on that phone, tap, 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 Kimmy number. Kimmy, who I just made up with or something like that. But Kimmy, I am shaking. I'm shaking right now. I just had a conversation with Kiki, and she's just talking about some stuff that happened like 4 years ago. You know, the same stuff I do to you. That's what's happening right now. And so next thing you know, outside the door comes Kiki, and she like, who are you talking about to me? Who are you talking to about me now? Who is it? Okay, who is it? And the episode ended like that. I said, now that was a good episode right there. That was some good stuff. I said, when I saw Kiki coming out that door, I said, oh Lord. I said, hang up the phone, Latisha. Hang up the phone. You see her coming out the door, just hang up the phone. Actually, get in your car. If you're going to leave the scene, just go. Go. Get in the car, drive off, run away. If you want to see, that's the other thing too. If you want your walk-off to be impactful, okay, y'all ever stormed out of some place because you was mad, but you forgot something, so you had to go back in there? Did it not lessen the impact of the fact that you had to storm off in the first place? Okay, that's what that moment felt like. You storm out of your own restaurant, you grab your pocketbook, and you get to stepping outside, you calling Kimmy and shaking and things like that, and upset and stuff like that. Get in the car and go, okay? Because now she coming for round 2. And now you got to deal with her all over again on the speakerphone with Kimmy, so Kimmy can hear you getting cussed out by your cousin, okay? Tisha, we're gonna have some reality one-on-one. I need to talk to Tisha. Tisha, we're gonna have to have a Ponderosa because I got to teach you reality 101, things to do to end the scene. how to steal the scene, how to take control of the scene, how to make the scene yours, okay? That's what we're gonna work on behind the scenes. And don't worry, I ain't gonna tell nobody I helped you out. But you know, if you need it, if you want some coaching, if you want to have a little ponderosa or something like that, over some black champagne or something like that, we can all celebrate together. We can celebrate Maurice's win because he sure enough gave Lewis the smackdown. Actually, take some lessons from MARSAU. The way he handled Lewis is the way you should have handled your cousin, okay? And that's all I got for y'all today. Listen, I'd have had all kinds of issues technologically. Y'all stuck around. Y'all are the best. I mean, listen. This episode was good, okay? This episode was good. It was real good. They did the doggone thing tonight. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I know we had like I said earlier, a little technical issue. I'm gonna try to edit it out of the video in the post-production. But I wanted to do this with y'all tonight because I was like, it's fresh in my mind. I was passionate about it, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, Skye Squad, I love y'all. I need to go eat me some dinner because I still ain't ate dinner yet, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.